What's up? This is K Flay. Come watch my interview with Mr. Indie. Oh man. Well, first of all, thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate it. This song is it's the start of this next era. So it's a really important song to me, and it's about something that I think we're all going through on a daily basis, which is being vulnerable. And I think I had been thinking a lot about that. What is it like to be vulnerable? And we often associate that with like tenderness or softness or like these kind of like gentle words. But I was like, being vulnerable, starting a new relationship or telling someone the truth or going through a painful experience, that shit is scary as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it's not soft. It doesn't feel gentle. And so what I really wanted to do with Raw Raw was like create something sonically that feels intense and feels heavy. But really what it's about is like turning to someone and going, hey, I like you and I want to be your girlfriend. Like it's like it was really motivated by those feelings of like, I want to be honest with someone. I want to expose myself. And so that's, I started writing the song originally about entering a new relationship after I had a pretty bad breakup. And I was starting to date my new girlfriend. And well, she's not that new, but and then so I began the song, and then suddenly I went deaf in my right ear. Had this massive change. And so I finished the song with one ear in this a whole new space of vulnerability where I'm like, oh my God, I'm a musician and I can't even hear out of this ear. And I'm going through a lot of changes and I'm really scared. And so the song kind of has, a lot of layered meaning for me. And sonically too, has a lot of elements of this next body of work, this next collection of songs, which are very guitar forward, what I consider to be like very modern rock. So almost always I start with a short musical thing. So it's typically like a riff or a chord progression. So for Rah Rah, I think I was playing guitar and went, what a version of the bass line. And it was just sort of like, oh, that's cool. Okay. And then ideas come from there. Interestingly, I don't keep a journal. I don't have ideas I know I want to write about. For me, it's a very stream of consciousness. I kind of let like this musical seed, I kind of just let that blossom however I'm feeling that day. And for me, that helps me to be really honest and not premeditated in my lyric, because sometimes, at least for me, I don't ever want to get into the space where the lyric feels overthought. I want it to feel really kind of conversational, natural. And so that's kind of the process for me. And then, once I start writing the lyric, then, okay, now I know what to do musically. And then I write more lyrics and, goes like that. Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, I wanted to create something that felt very cinematic, very much like it's part of a movie, and we're just it's almost like a trailer for a film, right? And something that had a feeling of intensity and urgency. It was also important to me to cut off my ear, to do something where we that's dramatic and kind of over the top, just as a way to talk about my hearing right off the bat, get that out of the way. Not that it's something I am shying away from talking about. I'm super happy to talk about it, but I felt like it was something I wanted to communicate to the fans, especially right from the get. The other part of the video that for me was really fun to play around with, and I worked with the director Griffin Olis on this, was creating these scenes of these kind of uncanny images of dismemberment, right? So we see my ear on the ground, we see my body split in half, we see my head in a bird cage. So just these positions that are a little bit, they're a little funny, like where it's clear there's some levity and some lightness to it as well, because I didn't want it to feel like a Saw movie, like a horror movie, that there's still a sense of humor there. But with this first video, it's a little bit of an introduction to the world of this record, and we see this large wall, like a murder wall kind of, right, with like tons of documents and strings, and those are themes that run across multiple songs. Well, I think anytime that I have been in emotional or psychological distress, one of the immediate antidotes to that has been vocalizing that feeling. I think we all know this, when you're going through struggle, when you're going through pain, when you're going through turmoil, just telling one person what's happening, there's so much relief when you carry it all inside of yourself. Without sharing that feeling, it builds and it builds and it builds, and the pressure builds, and we see how that has really damaging effects on people. And so I just think it's so important to be out there destigmatizing, just talking about what we're going through, because the fact of the matter is, since the dawn of time, life has been hard. That's like one of the themes of being a human, is that like life is difficult. Another theme of being human is that community helps us. When we build community around shared experience and love, we do better as people. And so I think it's very important to me, because, I make music and people have a little bit of a platform for people to listen, to emphasize that to people. If there's, all you need is one person to talk to, and there's a lot of people out there who want to hear what you have to say, and vice versa. There's a lot of community out there, and sometimes we can feel like there's no community for us, but there is, and I think it's important to remind people of that. Well, I do. More will be revealed, but for now I must have my secrets, and suffice it to say, there's a lot of, in my opinion, very exciting K-FLAY music on the way this year. I can't wait to share it, and more. I'll have more info for you next month. Well, I feel very excited, very grateful. I love performing live. I think the concert space is so special. It's this moment where we all get some relief. And, hearkening back to what we were speaking about just before, it's community. Every night we're building a little community of just people who are interested in the same thing, and, share a love for music. Like, it's so beautiful. It's very, it's very healing. So I'm very excited. The live show is, I think I've built something that's really dynamic and exciting. And I think it's going to be a really great experience for fans. I'm hoping to be in Mexico next year. So more on that soon, but just trust me. I'm I'm working on it, and I really want to be there because the Mexican fans have been so supportive, and I just want to show my love back. So yeah, me too, me too. Well, 2024, um, hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be seeing you. Oh my Lord, just thank you for listening. I appreciate it. And I've got I've got of a lot of new music for you this year, and I'm just very, very excited to share it.